1952, I started modelling trains. My mum and my auntie used to take me to see my Uncle Ernie, who was the manager at Triumph Motors, and he used to go fishing on the River Leam. Well, that's what I thought as a kid. I realised obviously they were going for a pint, but you know, when you're a kid, it sounds more interesting to say they were going fishing. And they dumped me on the station and picked me up at 4 o'clock. I mean, you wouldn't do that with a kid now, but that was quite acceptable in those days. I was about 11 when I started to take it a bit more serious than, you know, putting it on top of the bath and running around on a piece of artboard. And I've never stopped since. I did the series for Channel 4, and I'd had a 5 years, 6 years, like non-stop between Pop Idol and Steps, and I just thought I'm going to take a break. And you know, it's that thing, one day I'm going to build a model railway. And standing on the platform at Leamington doing the filming, I just thought, well, you know, if I'm going to build a model, this is where it's got to be, because this is where I spent the very early 50s up until 62, 63. So I thought, Leamington's perfect, it goes through a town centre, you can't see the whole railway, and there's always buildings getting in the way, which is exactly what I wanted. When we started, we used to go over to North Wales to the O-Gauge group, which was just a running track. There was about 6 or 7 of us used to go from Warrington and Manchester, and you know, one day I said, this is crazy, we've got a barn in the garden, why don't we convert the barn, form a club and build it ourselves? And literally that's what happened. As long as everybody mucked in, we'd make it sort of a club room, and that's what we did. It's about 160 feet by about 85 feet. There's very little straight track. You know, I remember seeing the Norris layout in magazines as a kid, and the one thing that struck me then was curves look better on a railway than straight lines do. There's in total about 23 of us, but of course, like every other group, you're lucky to get 6 or 7. I mean, there's probably 10 real stalwarts. With the interesting thing is that we come from all over the country. There's some lads from Sheffield, some lads from Birmingham, some lads from Coventry, Manchester, Warrington. We've got a couple of crew drivers who come when they're not on driving turns. So, you know, it's a lot of fun.
Not running through Leamington with 3 bloody coaches, it was.
We all help, but one person is the group leader for that specific job. So like Mike, he does the scenery. We all do the scenery, but it's to his eye. So he's the one that says, I want a tree, a bush here, and this is how I want it. And then you invariably make one, and it ends up never being. You might see it's not the tree he wants, or the tree he sees in a different place. So I mean, it works. One has to say, and everybody has to accept that. You've got 3 layouts in one. This is Hatton Bank. The other side of the room, you've got Leamington Spa station, an Avenue station, the old LMS one. Over the back there is the West Coast main line. So for all the lads in the club that don't like Great Western engines, they go and sit in there, and they never have to see a Great Western engine. And the whole layout, because it's all digital, can actually be controlled from in there. They never need to go anywhere else. And then, you know, there's 3 areas where they're just storage and where you know, interchange. And like everything else, when we designed it, we took a year to design it, thought it was right, did it all on virtual computers, got it all mapped out, built it, and then realised, of course, it doesn't work because we can't get from the Great Western to the LMS and back. So, you know, you then go, almost like the real railway, and they have to go and take the track up and redesign it. We've done a fifth, which is not bad because we didn't start till 2005. The layout is all complete. We put the last point motor in last week. Every signal is built, but it isn't yet working. I mean, all the signals are interlocked and work on Hatton Bank, but all the rest is still yet to be done. The LMS station's built, but the reason it's not fitted because we feel it would look silly having the LMS station and the Great Western Station not in. So that we've deliberately not put in yet. The city centre yet, we're still waiting for some of the big shops because they're quite big. In fact, they're massive buildings. Brinklow is exactly scale. That's absolutely scale. Leamington Spa, there's 18 feet missing out of one of the viaducts, but besides that it's actually scale between the town centre and the end of the station. There is going to be a shed area. The shed area is slightly, that's a sort of compromise, that whole area. Everything's slightly in the wrong place. But we wanted the shed, so we couldn't actually build that scale. It was physically impossible. There wasn't a room. One point about this railway which is different from everywhere else, everything's hand-built. We wanted to do things that nobody had ever done before. And because of the size, that made us approach the subject completely different. We sell everything. There's over 180 carriages. Well, you couldn't build 180 carriages in etch, it's impossible. And the same with wagons, there's 1,500 wagons. I mean, if they're not plastic kits, it would be an impossibility to ever achieve it. So we always knew from the very start, not only were we building a model railway, we were building a model railway company to go along with it and use modern technology and CNCs and 3D stereolithography to do it. Because we can't do anything as a one-off. So, for instance, all the walls, all the bridges, the tunnels, the signals, they're all kits because that's the only way that we could achieve what we want to achieve. I mean, the only thing that we couldn't sell is the viaducts in the middle of Leamington. They are literally, you know, they're probably a kit of about 4,000 parts. And although they are castings, it would cost too much to sell them. But the houses, the signal boxes, everything is designed that, you know, you can purchase it. The layout is probably, in truth, too wide because anything over as far as you can reach probably is silly. Arguably, Hatton Bank is the perfect model to build, or 4 tracks, and then hide the rest, and you don't have to worry about all the scenery. You can play trains all day to your heart's content. But we wanted that station, we wanted bridges in the town centre. What comes with all that, you don't know until you start, and then you think, oh God, why have I started this? Everybody said, well, when are you going to finish? Well, we're never going to finish. There's no point in finishing, you know. We do a lot more talking than we do modelling these days. That's part of what it's about, put the world to rights. As they screw the lid down on me, they'll probably put an axe through this and say it would have been nice if it was finished. Because I can't see my daughters wanting to play with trains, you know.